Number 10. When Meghan stopped making any sense at all. While being interviewed about her statements about the royal family, Meghan dodges the questions asked to her and instead just decides to literally groan and moan. An interviewer said this: "At one point in our conversation, instead of answering a question, she will suggest how I might transcribe the noises she's making. She's making these guttural sounds, and I can't quite articulate what it is she's feeling in that moment because she has no word for it. She's just moaning." Alison P. Davis explained how Meghan was incoherent and making completely random noises. If this isn't a tantrum, I don't know what is. She goes on later during the interview to insinuate that the royal family is racist, even though the Queen showed a great effort to get her acquainted with how to perform her duties as a royal properly. Meghan seemed to want the royal wealth, but not the royal responsibility. At number 9, when she compared herself to Nelson Mandela. The story goes that the former actress turned duchess was at a premiere of The Lion King on Broadway when a South African actor stopped her and told her that, "I just need you to know, when you married into this family, we rejoiced in the streets the same we did when Mandela was freed from prison." That's what Meghan Markle says happened, but none of the South African actors from the play claims that the comments were made by them. Later on, one of Nelson Mandela's grandkids said this: "Madiba's celebration was based on overcoming 350 years of colonialism and 60 years of a brutal apartheid regime in South Africa. It cannot be equated as the same." Clearly condemning her for comparing herself to Nelson Mandela in any way. It's clear to me that Meghan is trying to get the public to like her in any way, which is why she compared herself to such a popular activist such as Mandela himself. Maybe next time, don't quote something that nobody said. At number 8, the Queen's Jubilee. The ex-royal pair, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, decided to cut short their celebrations of the Queen's Jubilee, flying back early instead of participating in the later celebrations. Royal expert Katie Nicole said her take on the situation: "I honestly think it's because they knew they wouldn't be in that front row. And why did they leave the royal family? They left because they weren't in the front row. I believe that's why they weren't at the other celebrations, as they did not have center stage seats." Meghan disregarded the respect for Queen Elizabeth II's 70th year on the throne and just flew back with Harry, all for some seats. I can only imagine what it would feel like, being the Queen and trying to celebrate your 70th year on the throne when a couple of your grandkids decide to leave because they aren't getting enough attention. At number 7, when she made the Queen mad just before her wedding with Harry. In November 2018, just days after the couple returned from their successful tour Down Under, the Times reported that Meghan had thrown a tiara tantrum shortly before her wedding because the tiara she wanted to wear was not available, said Andrew Morton, royal biographer, in his new book. It was revealed in the same book that Harry spoke to the Queen about the tiara, asking if Meghan could get the one she truly wanted. Rather than giving in to Harry's request for the one Meghan wanted, Morton adds the Queen replied with, "She gets what tiara she's given by me." Additionally, in Meghan's interview with Oprah Winfrey in March, she recalled that Kate had made her cry, and added that she had forgiven her sister-in-law and sent flowers. But according to palace staff, who have since accused Meghan of bullying, the scenario played out the other way around, with Kate leaving in tears. At number 6, when a former palace employee put her on blast for wanting fame. Senior staff in Buckingham Palace became aware that there was concern about the way people were being spoken to. Something was not working, and Queen Elizabeth II agreed to the couple's request to form a new office at Buckingham Palace with their own staff. However, another request for an office independent of the palace was denied. The Queen had spent her life in public service and expected the same unwavering adherence to duty. "Duty means being in the service of others," the former palace employee said. "It's not about you. It's about what you're doing for other people. It's not about self-promotion. Royalty isn't celebrity. They're two very different things." Surely, Meghan probably spun this into something like the palace staff were bullying her. At number 5, when Meghan was hoarding flowers during the Queen's funeral. The passing of Queen Elizabeth II was a tragedy all around the world, seeing leaders from all over come to the UK to pay their respects. Meghan Markle found a way to make this tragic day a way to reconstruct her image. Protocol for placing down the flowers at the tribute is that the royal aides will take bouquets received from the public from royals and place them at the tributes. Meghan was seen holding a few bouquets of flowers when a royal aide approached her to take them to the tribute. Meghan reportedly told the aide that she would do it herself, clearly wanting the money shot of her placing the flowers at the tribute to build up her reputation. Another aide came to her as she had now collected many flower bouquets from the public and explained to her the protocol, taking the flowers from her and placing them down himself. At number 4, the many times she lost control on her palace staff. On many occasions, it has been reported that Meghan was abusive and annoying to her palace staff. The palace staff assigned to her is really only there to help, so losing your cool on them seems so counterproductive. Don't worry, if there was literally anyone else I could ask to do this, I would be asking them instead of you, she said to one of them. A palace staff worker was also left shaking, terrified of the Duchess. "She's not picking up. I feel terrified. The employee reportedly said after they couldn't reach the Duchess of Sussex by phone. This is so ridiculous. I can't stop shaking, they said. No one really knows how scary Meghan Markle can get when she loses her temper, but these people know all too well, it seems. At number 3, when she lost her cool on an experienced royal aide. Samantha Cohen, the experienced royal aide who Queen Elizabeth II asked to help Meghan transition into royal life, was screamed at by the couple before and during a flight to Australia for their 2018 tour. Sam always made clear that it was like working for a couple of teenagers. They were impossible and pushed her to the limit. She was miserable, a friend of Cohen's claimed. She was constantly having to battle on Harry and Meghan's behalf while taking all this abuse from them. That's terrible. It seems that the Queen sent her most reliable person on her staff to help Meghan, and she was broken by the experience. At number 2, when Meghan left the royal family. Meghan decided in January of 2020 that she would be stepping down with her husband, Prince Harry, from their royal duties. She seems to think that her existence in general was so important and grand that she was wrecking the royal family. Just by existing, we were upsetting the dynamic of the hierarchy. So we go, okay fine, let's get out of here. Happy to, said Meghan on her leave. She also said that, for whatever reason, is not something that we are allowed to do, even though several other members of the family do the exact same thing. Perhaps she believes she is wanted in the family for whatever reason. At number 1, the time she threw tea at a staffer. Allegedly, she threw a cup of hot tea at one of the Admiralty House staff in Oz. Meghan expected to get the whole of Admiralty House to stay during their tour, but she only got a wing of it. So, allegedly, she told the host to 4-letter word off and asked, "Do you know who I am?" Apparently, she was like a Tasmanian devil during her early pregnancy, and the host tried to soothe her with a cup of tea. She didn't like the tea and threw it at the staffer.
Fine dining. The Big Apple is home to many amazing restaurants and dining establishments, but not amazing enough for Meghan Markle. A waiter working at one of these restaurants recalls an encounter with Meghan and her irate personal assistant. The aggression came from Meghan and her assistant demanding a private table by dropping the royal card. The assistant did most of the arguing while Meghan sat back and looked irate, according to staff. After arguing over a private table, the assistant went on to say, "Are you aware who my guest is dating? Prince Harry, and this is about to be the Duchess." The response to this engagement, as stated, was, "We got the most powerful people in the world that come here. No one really cares about you." Bold statement, but a good one at that. Good on the restaurant for standing their ground. The Platinum Jubilee. Prince Harry and Meghan exited this event earlier than expected, and royal experts believe it was because they weren't given center stage. To quote the expert exactly, she stated, "I honestly think it's because they knew they wouldn't be in the front row, and it's for the same reason they've missed other events." I personally think we're just looking into it too much, but I could be wrong. Maybe center stage is that important to that couple. Big breakup. Meghan and Prince Harry hit some not so calm waters before their relationship was made public. Because of exactly that, Meghan apparently told the prince that she'd break up with him if their relationship wasn't made public. Meghan, you got my full support with this one. Prince Harry, she shouldn't have to tell you, come on man. Meghan forced his hands, and in quick notion, he released a public statement which announced their relationship to the world. According to the same source, the nature of this media push was rageful, which made Harry start freaking out and worried for his relationship. Where's my money? That's the question Meghan had after the royal tours. With smiles and nice photos, the behind the scenes of the royal tour was apparently a nightmare. This royal tour is an amazing time to empower others and be a good role model as a royal. This tour is a tradition and is keen for the royal family to build good relations and also good for publicity. Only issue is Meghan didn't see the importance in that, and as quoted on multiple occasions by staff for saying, "I can't believe I'm not getting paid for this." Meghan, you got to go travel the world. Shouldn't you be saying, "I can't believe I'm not paying for this"? Glass half full, Meghan. Glass half full.
When she compared herself to Nelson Mandela. The story goes that the former actress turned Duchess was at a premiere of The Lion King on Broadway when a South African actor stopped her and told her that, "I just need you to know, when you married into this family, we rejoiced in the streets the same we did when Mandela was freed from prison." That's what Meghan Markle says happened, but none of the South African actors from the play claims that the comments were made by them. Later on, one of Nelson Mandela's grandkids said this: "Madiba's celebration was based on overcoming 350 years of colonialism and 60 years of a brutal apartheid regime in South Africa. It cannot be equated as the same." Clearly condemning her for comparing herself to Nelson Mandela in any way. It's clear to me that Meghan is trying to get the public to like her in any way, which is why she compared herself to such a popular activist such as Mandela himself. Maybe next time, don't quote something that nobody said.
Mistreating staff. is apparently an issue that applies to Meghan and Prince Harry. A staff member took this upon themselves to bring the issue to attention, stating people need to be treated well with some understanding, even when they're not performing to Harry and Meghan's standards. Meghan replied saying, "It's not my job to coddle people." Prince Harry has been reported with the same issue and the Queen addressed it in a private meeting. According to one source, they're just downright rude. Not gonna say they weren't rude, but this happens during preparation for their wedding, so I can see how stress levels could have been high. This tantrum about the staff service was most likely a scapegoat to all the stress and planning a royal wedding, so royal staff, keep your chin up, I'm sure you're doing well. Stay woke, royals! This was more a defeat than a freakout, but nonetheless definitely left Meghan annoyed. It's been stated multiple times that Meghan is a very competitive person. To add to that, royal expert Angela Levin has gone on to say that Meghan and Prince Harry have been trying to create an alternative woke royal family. She also tweeted that they are determined to show that their way is the best way. Some old roots are too rooted to change, Meghan. Maybe the next generation of royals will do it your way, but I promise it won't happen immediately. A for effort though, at least you are presenting this change by attending charity events and not just slamming royals on social media like 90% of people do. Meghan looked annoyed with Prince Harry. There is a photo of Prince Harry that is meant to demonstrate Meghan's temper. In their last attendance at Albert Hall with Harry as Captain General, there's a photo of Harry looking distant and in thought. But with the rageful face beside him, it shows that maybe there was an argument going on. But with the rageful face beside him, it shows that they may have been having an argument. Harry didn't look like he was in the mood for it, but Meghan looked annoyed either way, and had a bit of a snarl with the face she was giving him. This could be completely out of context, but I bet the paparazzi that took this photo got a decent sized check capturing that moment. One thing for sure is she's not happy about something. Jamaican me crazy, Prince Harry. In Jamaica, stuff got heated between the prince and Meghan as their exotic trip became a tense fight. Multiple photos released with Meghan having daggers in her eyes. It's been stated she was upset with Prince Harry's drunken behavior. At one point, he even knocked into a waitress. She even stated that he was getting so drunk he was flirting with other girls and giving her no attention at all. It's said he just doesn't always look amazed with her and didn't buy into the affection on this trip. Meghan, you don't deserve that. Yet again, I'm on your side with this one. Keep your chin up, and if it doesn't work out long term, just shoot me a DM. I would never ignore you, especially in Jamaica. Prince Harry, if you're seeing this, I'm only joking. Angry photos. There are many photos out there of Meghan just looking fed up with their surroundings, which again, I don't blame her. She's always in the public eye getting judged and constantly under a microscope. She sometimes just looks sick of it all and her smile fades away. At the end of the day, she is a successful person who happened to marry a prince. We're quick to judge her for these photos and everything else on this list, but I personally think she's doing just fine. She's had a slip up or two under pressure, but Meghan, as much as you look pissed in these photos, paparazzi also deletes 100 photos of you smiling and only saves the one of you looking mad. Trip to Australia. Whether you're a fan of Meghan or not, her name is always popping up somewhere. So much for getting out of the media for her and Harry. A perfect example of this media attention comes from this insider report of Meghan freaking out during her Australia trip. Reportedly, Meghan Markle's frustration of having her independence taken away has caused her to become very snappy with the people working around her. During their tour, just before they were about to go to Invictus Games, Meghan was bawling at her hairdresser to get her hair right, while at the same time someone was ironing the bottom of the dress she was wearing. They told the publication. It was also stated she was under high pressure while this was going on, so maybe things added up and she just had to let it out. Who are we to judge? Vanity Fair story. Meghan Markle's Vanity Fair story had left the Duchess very upset after the magazine quoted, "She's just wild about Harry." The cover photo of the magazine showed the actor glamorous flaunting her hair and freckles while headlining the controversial line. According to Daily Mail, the actor said, "We're in love. This time it's for us. It's part of what makes it so special that it's just ours. But we're happy. Personally, I love a great love story." The outlet claimed that an insider revealed the actor was not at all happy with the magazine's move. She was very unhappy with how it had been handled, the insider said. She was looking to throw blame in every possible direction, despite it having been a positive piece. She did not like the photograph. She thought the story was negative. She was upset that it was about Harry and not about her. The outlet also added that the couple shared they had been trying to get rid of it and change it online because they thought it had been racially motivated. Meghan was so angry with Kayleigh she wanted to fire her, the insider also added. Tea Party. Meghan Markle could not contain her aggression during an unfortunate event at her first royal trip with Prince Harry, who made their first Australia trip in 2018. They were particular about recreating the legacy of Princess Diana's trip in the same country years ago. On one of the days of their trip, Meghan is said to have lost her temper after she engaged in an abrasive gesture against the female staff. Author Tom Bower writes, Meghan was allegedly abrasive towards her 4 female staff and even towards the local British diplomats. According to one report, Meghan allegedly threw a cup of tea in the air. Her anger may have been partly fueled by Harry. Every night he trawled social media searching for snide comments on the internet. Every morning he and Meghan turned on their phone and surfed the internet. Meghan was later accused of bullying the royal staffers, a claim her lawyers have denied. They claimed whenever she is asked about something that forces her to hold accountability, she talks about something else and typically throws a lot of weight onto Prince Harry. These are the interviewer's words, not mine, before you hit the comments, but do comment and let me know if you've noticed this behavior in interviews. Back to Australia. When she lost her cool on an experienced royal aide, Samantha Cohen. The experienced royal aide who Queen Elizabeth asked to help Meghan transition into royal life was screamed at by the couple before and during a flight to Australia for their 2018 tour. Sam always made it clear that it was like working with a couple of teenagers. They were impossible and pushed her to her limits. She was miserable. A friend of Cohen's claimed she was constantly having to battle on Harry and Meghan's behalf while taking all this abuse from them. Meghan, Harry, regarding your oh so sweet invitation to Australia this year, I'm gonna have to call rain check, but you enjoy yourselves. Tiara Tantrum. In November 2018, just days after the couple returned from their successful tour down under, the Times reported that Meghan had thrown a tiara tantrum shortly before her wedding because the tiara she wanted just was not available. Andrew Morton, royal biographer, in his new book revealed that Harry spoke to the Queen about the tiara, asking if Meghan could get the one she truly wanted. Rather than giving in to Harry's request for the one that Meghan wanted, Morton adds the Queen replied she gets what tiara she's given to by me. Additionally, in Meghan's interview with Oprah Winfrey in March, she recalled that Kate had made her cry and added that she had forgave her sister-in-law and sent flowers. But according to palace staff who have since accused Meghan of bullying, the scenario seemed to have played the other way around, with Kate leaving in tears. Sounds like a bunch of he said she said to me, and I'll put an end to it right now by saying, I say, where's my invitation to the wedding? Huh, Meghan? Where's my private table? This was a question that got asked at a nice restaurant in New York City. Meghan Markle came here with her assistant and they requested exactly that, a private table. A waiter working at this restaurant recalls an encounter with Meghan and her assistant. The aggression came from Meghan and her assistant demanding a private table by dropping the royal card. Apparently, Meghan and the assistant were irate, according to the staff. After arguing over the private table, the assistant went on to say, "Are you aware that my guest is dating Prince Harry and is about to be Duchess?" The response to this engagement was, "We get powerful people in here, no one really cares who you are." I am curious to see what rating and Yelp review Meghan left. I wonder if it's good. Where's my money? That's a question Meghan had asked after the royal tours. With smiles and nice photos, the behind the scenes was apparently a nightmare. I wasn't there, so don't quote me. I'm only quoting people who were there and spoke on the issue. The royal tour is amazing. It's an opportunity for all the royals to go check out landmarks and kind of gain publicity for the countries they're visiting, as well as build relationships. Only issue is Meghan wanted money for this occasion. According to her staff, she also brought this up and said, "I can't believe I'm not getting paid for this." I would like to add to this, royals, if you're looking to go for a royal tour, I don't care about getting paid. I would be more than happy to come. Angry photos. Now, I know paparazzi will snap a million photos and just pick the ones that will get them the best headlines, but there are many photos out there of Meghan just looking fed up with her surroundings. Which again, I don't blame her. If I was in the public eye that much, I'd probably just ask for the flashes to be turned off. She's constantly under a microscope and getting judged all the time, and sometimes looks sick of it all and the smiles fade away. She's most likely just slipping up under pressure. Don't worry, Meghan, keep your chin up. Harry is in the doghouse. No, Harry didn't sleep in the doghouse. He most likely slept in one of the master spare bedrooms because, you know, they're loaded. But there is a photo of Prince Harry that is meant to demonstrate Meghan's temper. In their last attendance to Albert Hall with Harry as Captain General, there is a photo of Harry looking distant and in thought, with a rageful face beside him. It shows that this may have been an argument with Harry and Meghan, but Meghan looked annoyed either way and had a bit of a snarl with the faces she was giving him.